In this episode, we'd like to tell you the fascinating and remarkable history behind the Canadian Tulip Festival. Every spring in Ottawa, Canada, more than 500,000 visitors from around the world descend upon the capital city to view the vibrant colors of the million-plus tulips, all in full bloom and in numerous locations across the city. Many visitors are astounded by the beauty, but never really know the origins of the largest tulip festival in the world. To fully understand the extraordinary circumstances that led to this annual tradition, we encourage you to watch to the end. Welcome to Wander, Explore, Repeat. Our world has so many things to see and do, and I'd like to show you some of them. I'm Daniel Jones, and I'll be your tour guide on today's adventure. Today, I'd like to tell you the amazing and touching story behind the tradition of the Canadian Tulip Festival and answer a question from a subscriber. The question quite simply was, why does Ottawa hold the Tulip Festival every spring? The reason for the festival dates back to the end of the Second World War, when the Dutch royal family sent 100,000 tulip bulbs to Canada as a gift. But why did they send that gift? It was because of Canada's role in helping Princess Juliana of the Netherlands during World War II. It is a remarkable story of sanctuary, diplomacy, and enduring friendship. In May 1940, Nazi Germany invaded the Netherlands, forcing the Dutch royal family into exile. While Queen Wilhelmina established a government in exile in London, her daughter, Crown Princess Juliana, along with her two young daughters, Princess Beatrix and Princess Irene, sought refuge in Canada. They arrived in Halifax and settled in Ottawa, where they lived at Stornoway, the same residence that now houses the leader of the opposition. Canada's hospitality extended far beyond providing shelter. In 1942, while still in exile, Princess Juliana became pregnant with her third child. This presented a unique legal challenge. Under Dutch law, royal succession required that the child be born on Dutch soil or to Dutch parents in a way that preserved the child's Dutch nationality. To resolve this, the Canadian government took an extraordinary step. On December 26, 1942, King George VI of England, acting in his capacity as King of Canada as well, issued a royal proclamation declaring the maternity ward of the Ottawa Civic Hospital temporarily extraterritorial. This meant that when Princess Juliana gave birth there on January 19, 1943, the room was considered outside Canadian jurisdiction, ensuring that her daughter, Princess Margaret, would hold only Dutch citizenship. This gesture was more than a legal technicality. It was a profound symbol of trust and alliance. The birth of Princess Margaret in Ottawa became a cherished moment in Dutch-Canadian relations. In gratitude, the Dutch royal family sent 100,000 tulip bulbs to Canada after the war, a gift that blossomed into the Canadian Tulip Festival, an annual celebration of peace and friendship. As remarkable and touching as this story is, there's much more to it. The Netherlands was under the occupation of Nazi forces. All supply lines were cut off, The nation was starving, and Canada knew something had to be done to resolve this devastation. Canada took the lead role in reversing the occupation. The liberation began in the fall of 1944, when the 1st Canadian Army, made up of Canadian, British and Polish troops, was assigned the daunting task of clearing the Scheldt estuary. This vital waterway had to be secured to open the port of Antwerp, which was necessary for Allied forces to receive supplies. The Battle of the Scheldt was brutal. Soldiers faced flooded lowlands, fierce German resistance, and treacherous conditions. It came at a heavy cost, with thousands of Allied troops killed or wounded, many of them Canadian. Securing the estuary opened the way for the final Allied offensive into Nazi-occupied Europe, but as Canadian forces pushed forward, the Dutch people were suffering through a devastating winter. Known as the Hunger Winter, it saw tens of thousands of people in the Western Netherlands starve or freeze due to Nazi blockades of food and fuel. As Canadian units advanced, they not only engaged enemy forces, but also brought desperately needed supplies and hope to the civilians caught in the turmoil. In the spring of 1945, Canadian troops launched a series of offensives to liberate the remaining parts of the Netherlands. Cities like Groningen and Leeuwarden were freed house by house in intense urban combat. Yet Canadian commanders frequently sought ceasefires with German forces to allow humanitarian aid to get through, most notably during Operation Faust, when food convoys rolled into starving Dutch towns even before the fighting had fully ceased. The formal surrender of German forces in the Netherlands came on May 5, 1945. The ceremony, held at the Hotel de Wereld in Wageningen, saw Canadian General Charles Foulix accept the German capitulation. For the Dutch, it marked the end of a long, brutal occupation and the beginning of a cherished friendship. Today, the legacy of that liberation is woven into the cultural fabric of both nations. Thousands of Canadian soldiers are buried in Dutch soil, their graves lovingly maintained by locals. Streets and memorials bear Canadian names. And each May, the Netherlands erupts in color with tulips, a symbol of gratitude and remembrance, gifted back to Canada year after year. Canada's actions in the Netherlands weren't just military, they were deeply human. They're remembered not only in history books, but in living memory, blooming every spring and beating in the hearts of both Canadians and Dutch citizens alike. Together, these acts, offering refuge, ensuring royal succession, and fighting for liberation, cemented Canada's place in Dutch history. It's a story that continues to bloom every spring in Ottawa, when tulips paint the city in colors of remembrance and gratitude. For those who ask why Ottawa has a tulip festival each spring, now you know. We truly hope you're enjoying our travel series. Please like and subscribe, and consider becoming a member for early access to new videos and more. This is Daniel Jones saying thank you for watching, and we'll see you on our next adventure on Wander, Explore, Repeat.